Have you ever wondered how to create an inclusive and supportive environment for your children? With Pride Month and LGBTQ plus kids in mind, our next guest has strategies to foster love, acceptance, and emotional safety within families. She is a retired pediatrician, the mother of 3, and the author of her upcoming book about your Black transgender child. Let's welcome Dr. Uchenna Umeh, also known as Dr. Lulu. Welcome, Dr. Lulu.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes, happy to have you on. So, Dr. Lulu, what are the ABCs of parenting your LGBTQ plus children?
Thank you so much for asking that question. So, the first thing I do as a coach is almost always focus on your thoughts. So, the first letter A is awareness of your thought processes. The second A is acknowledging what you just heard, what your child just told you. The third A is accepting yourself and your brand new identity as a parent of a transgender child or a parent of an LGBT plus child. And the last A is affirming your child, essentially saying that what your child just told you is true and you're going to help. The B is believe them. Believe it or not, your child has no reason to make up that they're queer or that they're LGBT or that they're trans or anything during this world as we see it today. So believe your child and then beg for time if you need that. Because a lot of times you need to process what you just heard. So beg your child for time, explain to them that you need the time to process it so that you can become that parent that your child needs to be. And then, of course, C is create a safe space. You usually have already created a safe space, and that's what your child is sharing with you. But if you haven't, it's time to create a safe space in your heart and then again in your home and maybe even your neighborhood and in their schools. Because you need to be courageous to handle what lies ahead, right?
Yeah.
And then become critical about who you're bringing around your child, who you're bringing around you and your home. D is make a decision. Decide today to become an ally for your child, to become brave enough, to become courageous enough.
And Dr.
And
Lulu,
then
how can
also,
families build that emotional safety in the parent-child relationship even before the question of identity comes in?
knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. Knowledge is power. You have to know the myths and mistakes and misconceptions about the queer community out there. So, educating yourself even before your child is born, if that's possible. If you decide you want to have a child, begin to educate yourself because there's a lot of myths and misconceptions and miseducation about the queer community out there. So ask your friends, ask your cousins, ask your neighbors, ask your co-workers, ask people you know who are already in the queer community because a lot of times many adults know that they're queer, but they might not want to share the information with you unless they know that you are safe. So if you know that you have a friend who is gay or who is trans or who is LGBT, who is a lesbian, begin to ask them questions about how you can create a safe space in your heart and then again in your home ever before your child is born.
And Doctor, you talked about creating a safe space. So when something as deeply personal as sexual identity becomes a public issue, how can parents show their children that they are allies against homophobia and transphobia?
So think about what you're saying. Think about the words you use to describe queer community in your home. Think about what you're thinking about the queer community. If somebody tells you that being LGBT is wrong, ask them where did they get the information from. Let your child see you being an ally even before your child says anything. 9 times out of 10, if your child's friends are LGBT, then your child is probably LGBT. So begin to ask your child questions like, tell me more. Tell me about this friend who is LGBT. What are your thoughts about the LGBT community? How do your friends treat LGBT plus students in the school? What are your teachers saying about being LGBT? Begin to ask questions, normalize conversations about being LGBT. Your child can hear you and begin to say, you know what? I think my mom is cool. I think I want to tell my mom that this is who I am. Because your child is not going to just magically know that you're affirming until you show them that you are. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I made as a parent. I used all the wrong words to describe queer people. I said all the wrong things about gay men and trans people. I said all that to my child's hearing. And so, of course, my child wasn't comfortable enough to tell me these things. So I've made all the mistakes so that parents don't have to make any more mistakes.
Well, Dr. Lulu, we appreciate your breakdown, your ABCs of breaking this down, as I'm sure many other parents will as well. I'm going to let our viewers know where they can get a little bit more information. Thank you so much for your time. You can find out more by going to dr-lulu.com.